So we're going to read into the code now that we have our our two objects set up, so to speak, the file reader and the file. For this, we're going to go ahead and just preset up 3 variables that we're going to use throughout the program. We're going to have our int rows and int column to read into the text file. Then we're also going to have a string temp, because our string temp holder, our temp is going to be a temporary holder. The hardest part to conceptualize of this is we're going to use a while loop to see if there's another line, but then we're going to use the for loop to write to the array. So that's where it may get a little confusing. So I'm going to go ahead with my braces and the comment to end the get file. And here's what our while statement has to say. Our while, we're going to use 2 parentheses here. We're going to say while temp equals read file dot, and we get some different options for reading the text file. And we're going to choose read line. So this here is reading in the line. Go out to the other parenthesis here in between, and we're saying, well, this whole statement here does not equal null, meaning it still equals something. When that happens, there are a couple different things that we can do. I'm going to go ahead here and end the while. We're not going to do a do while, because this is just as simple to do a while. Okay, that was a play on words. Here inside the while statement, we have to do the following, and I have to pause here. Someone just came in. Sorry about that. What we have to do is we have to create a temporary array that will hold the information and then write it to the permanent array. So it's all the text information is still not, even though it is numbers, not known as numbers. It's right now the computer knows it as strings. So we'll create a temporary one-dimensional array, string holder equals temp dot. Then we're going to take the temp variable here. We're going to trim it. And then we're also going to split it at the hashtag. This splitting at the hashtag right here, this is known, the hashtag is, if I can get this right, that'd be great, is known as a delimiter. What that does is it allows the computer to break up this entire line of text into the array based off of where the hashtag is located. So this array right here is going to read at the 0 position the number 1, at the 1 position the 2, the 3, the 4, because it's splitting everything from the hashtag. From there, all we have to do is set up our for loop when we only need 1 to write this line of our 2-dimensional array, and then make sure that we increase the row to not write over it, and then call down to it, and we're done. So for, we already declared column, so we don't need the int in front of it. Column equals 0. Column is less than holder.length, because we're dependent on how much information was in here. And then column plus plus to continue the loop. So we have a for loop inside a while loop. And what we have going on here is array of row and column equals holder, or we have to do a conversion, integer.parseInt holder of column. So remember, this will convert it into a number that then we can physically do calculations with. So this will take the entire row, each column, write it to the proper spot of the array, and then outside the for loop, we need to manually increase the row. That's the hardest part of this program. It will do that for the entire text file and then return the array. And again, it is important for us to know at this time that our dimensions will match the dimensions of the text file till we get the hard material. The other thing is, if you Google search this a lot, you're going to see try and catch and a lot of private. And what that is meant to demonstrate is for if you're writing code for bank security, make sure that your text files are secure, that no one can get to the connection and protect your information. All we're interested right now is just accessing the information. We can worry about protecting it at a future date.